So this is question 7 on exercise 1C. And it's a nice question because it really tests your understanding of what the critical region is for testing for a positive correlation. So our alternative hypothesis is that there's a positive correlation. So H0 would be that the population correlation coefficient is 0, like it always is, and our alternative would be that population correlation coefficient is greater than 0. So let's think about our correlation coefficient scale. This is our value of R, the sample correlation coefficient, and it looks like it's quite close to 1. And remember, the closer we are to 1, the more likely we are to be able to reject H0 and say that the correlation coefficient is actually greater than 0, it's actually positive. So the way that we do that is we look at the tables and we look at sample size 10, and let's just look at a 10% significance level for now. So at the 10% significance level, this value here says that I would need R, our sample correlation coefficient, to be at least 0.4428 in order to reject H0. So let's put that on 0.4428, and this is at the 10% significance level. So that means that if my value of R, the sample correlation coefficient, is closer to 1 than 0.4428, then we could reject H0. Now we know that this person rejects H0, so we know that they could have used a 10% significance level. Well, what we're asked for is the lowest possible significance level. So we're going to keep on reducing the significance level until we get to a point where we don't have the fact that he rejects H0. So next, let's try the 5% significance level. So at the 5% significance level, the critical value is 0.5494. 0.5494. And this is at the 5% level. So that would mean that if I reduce my, if I have a value of R, the sample correlation coefficient, closer to 1 than 0.5494, then I reject H0. So he rejects at 10%, he rejects at 5%. But you can see that actually we're getting closer to the point where we wouldn't reject it. So let's keep going. Let's go to the 2.5% level. So 2.5%, and the critical value is 0.6319. So that means that if R is greater than 0.6319, closer to 1, then we could reject H0 and say that it is actually positive. So we can reject here. Let's look at what would happen if we went one step further. So we've done the 2.5% level, that was fine. 5% was fine, 10% was fine. Let's try 1%. The critical value is 0.7155. So if I went to 0.7155, 0.7155 is here. So my critical region would be that the sample correlation coefficient would have to be closer to 1 than 0.7155. So we've got a problem here. At this significance level, at the 1% significance level, we're not in the rejection region, we're not in that critical region. So the lowest value of the significance level for which we can reject H0 is 2.5%, because 1% doesn't work. So that's why we get our answer of 2.5%.